What is up, y'all? It's your boy 12-inch back at y'all with another video. If y'all like content like this, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If y'all are brand new to the channel, y'all don't know what I do here. Generally I do like educational vids, stuff like that, stuff that just helps you learn more things about the game. I've been playing this game for a very long time, since November of 2019. I think I've been a sponsored content creator for about a year now, maybe a little less. We've been playing for a while. So I was talking to my audience on live stream. We also live stream basically every day, somewhere around like 15 to 17 UTC, generally about 3 to 4 hours. And they were telling me that I should perhaps update some of my old videos. Now, there are videos that are very popular that everybody's watched, and there are videos that are not very popular that not many people have watched. This is a super old video. This is about 4.5 years old, and this is on a very different point in my life. So basically, I just want to kind of go through this and review it. This is from a culturally different part in Rise of Kingdoms. It's very interesting to see this now because Koreans are like a very well accepted part of the culture of Rise of Kingdoms, and everybody kind of gets along now. At one point in the game, Koreans were feared and not understood at all. Rise of Kingdoms used to have a very bad translator service where instead of translating the actual words that people meant to say, it would just translate to like, it's a beautiful day, or like, it's a nice day, or something like that, or like, it's a wonderful place, like something silly. They would have translations that didn't make any sense. Koreans, there was like wild xenophobia towards like all Westerners, to the point where they'd be purged out of every kingdom every single time. And there was just like a huge amount of like cultural conflict between Koreans and like every other group of people playing this game. And so when I was playing, I came from League of Legends. So to contextualize this is me when I was younger. As you guys can see, I look a tiny bit younger here. At this point in my life, I got arrested when I was 18, and I almost did like 2 years in federal prison. And then I left the city I was in and made my way to another city like a few hours later, and I tried to do like college and stuff like that. I ended up withdrawing. I went to Texas A&M. I did like 2 years of aerospace. I withdrew from that, and I started playing Rise of Kingdoms. And so this was like my job now, and I was like trying to like reform and, you know, like be better, I guess. I was a little more rough around the edges, I suppose. I was less PC. Now, if you guys watch my streams, you guys know I'm already not PC, but it was definitely crazier. I had come off of being a full-time League of Legends streamer here as well. Anyway, I'm gonna stop buttering it up. Without further ado, I'm just gonna kind of go through the video and just like make comments on how the game kind of used to be. And if you guys like videos like these, be sure to let me know in the comments below, and we can do a couple other ones. We might be doing more personable stuff on the channel. I'm not entirely sure. I really do like the channel just being like guide content, but if you guys like stuff like this, then I have nothing against it. Also, I used to be known by Magic the Joker whenever I played mobile games. So originally I was 12-inch for my League of Legends stuff, and then I was Magic the Joker whenever I played mobile games because I did not want people connecting me to my League of Legends stuff. Because on my League of Legends stuff, I was a very high tier player. I was a full-time League of Legends like coach, booster, and streamer. If any of my long-term viewers will know this.
Hey guys, it's Magic the Joker. Those of you that have been watching my live streams now know that I'm no longer Magic the Joker from Kingdom 1628. I'm Magic the Joker from Kingdom 1576. I have recently migrated.
1628 was my first kingdom I ever started in. I'm playing for a long time. This is my first account, so the account I play now is not the same. This account still exists, I just don't use it anymore. I just kind of leave it alone because it has a lot of sentimental value to me.
With my Korean alliance and my Korean friends to Kingdom 1576, and we are here in a majority Korean kingdom that is very strong, veering towards KVK2. And this video is going to be on basically how I became a Korean R4 and my advice for anybody trying to join a Korean alliance.
You guys did hear that right. In the kingdom I started in, there was a small Korean alliance that I ended up joining. They liked me a whole lot because I would play League of Legends on the Korean servers, so I'd play League of Legends with them all the time, and I was pretty good at the game. I wasn't great at the game at this point, but I was pretty decent. They ended up inviting me to a new kingdom to go with them, and the kingdom I ended up going to was just all Korean, and I was like an R4 there. They called me native speaker. I'm not gonna do the accent, but like some of them had decent English and some of them did not, and they'd just be like native speaker, and whenever they'd find another English speaker, they'd be real excited for me to like talk to them so they could hear me speak English to another person.
Maybe overall information. So first, I'd like to preface it by saying I speak no Korean. Becoming leadership was not the easiest task with an alliance with majority people whose language I do not speak, whose culture I am not fully engrossed in. I like to start off saying that even though I don't speak Korean, it's not a huge problem generally. Most Koreans often speak English. They learn it in their education. You know, your pixels on a screen that doesn't speak Korean, so their willingness to work with you or view of you as a whole is generally dampened by the fact that, you know, humans, we gather around familiar people. You know, Russians.
I will say, I'm not lying necessarily when I say I don't speak any Korean. Man, I was really dead set on like becoming a better player in this game. game because the Koreans were kind of plugged in to early game combat tactics, and the Westerners were plugged into more of how to grow your accounts really early game in Rise of Kingdoms. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't learn, I invented like a lot of the stuff we use now to grow accounts because they used to just not exist. Like kind of nobody really knew what they were doing, but Westerners had more of an idea what they were doing, but Koreans would just throw money at the problem until it succeeded. I've never seen more money burned in my entire life than playing with Koreans. It's insane, and they did not care. They take time off work, stuff like that, just to make sure they were going. But I spoke a little, like I knew a few words in Korean. In the Korean alphabet, I want to say they have like 26 or 28 letters. It just looks like symbols, but in reality they're blocks. And so you just put the letters in like little like 4-piece, like you just stick the letters together and phonetically they sound the same like an English alphabet would. Korean is actually rather easy to learn compared to other Asian languages. I knew a little bit of Korean. Like I knew like enough words to like be like hello, like thank you, like I could pick out my name, I could translate like other people's name, I could drive read some stuff. Like I really put in some elbow grease to like try and ingratiate myself into the culture so I would be accepted, because it was really difficult at this point if you did not speak Korean.
Will join a Russian alliance, French people will join a French alliance, Americans want to join an English-speaking alliance. So it is not ridiculous to believe that they are less willing to talk to you because you don't speak Korean. In fact, it's sensible. Koreans respect skill, productivity, and knowledge, okay? South Korea is, as many people know, the competitive gaming capital of the world, essentially. So if you can bring something to the table in terms of skill, productivity, or knowledge, they're much more willing to work with you. If you know tidbits about the game that you can teach them, of things they didn't know before that will help the alliance as a whole, they'll respect that. You know, if you're very active, you're always in chat, you're joining rallies, they will respect that. You know, if you are dumping a bunch of money in, if you're a tier 5 player, they will respect that, okay? Koreans...
They will. So a lot of people that were playing, so YouTubers at this point in time that played Rise of Kingdoms were, I want to say it was like Shinchi, Ronnie, Shishkul, Gecko, Dragothian. I want to say those are like the main names. And at this point, these guys were generally, as I understand it, they were Rise of Kingdoms players that ended up making YouTube videos. But I was a YouTuber that ended up making Rise of Kingdoms content. So the Koreans really liked my YouTube content, even though for the vast majority, they could not understand it. They were like, oh, like he's like, those of them that spoke English would talk to the other guys that did not speak English, and they would comment on my videos and it'd all be in Korean and it wouldn't make any sense. It was great. It was a great time because they saw the stuff I was doing as an F2P, because like when I first started playing, I told people that I was going to have F2P T5 in 300 days and everybody told me I was an idiot and that it was impossible. So the stuff I was doing, now I'm looking for KVK2. I'm 16 million power on this account. Just for context, this was impressive. This is an impressive account for this stage of the game, right? At this stage of the game, like I think I would have given this account like a 4, like at best.
Respect skill, productivity, and knowledge. Okay, if you're a free-to-play player that has no fucking idea how to play the game and you find yourself not able to join a Korean alliance, it's not rocket science, not in. If it was an American alliance, a French alliance, a German alliance, you wouldn't be in them either. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're Korean, but more the fact that you suck. Another thing is be active in Discord. You know, most alliances have a Discord at this point.
That's another thing. A lot of players just sucked at the game horrifically. It really had nothing to do with if you're F2P or not. Just a lot of people were really bad. And before, like now, a bad player isn't that far behind in the pack, right? If you play like 1 to 2 hours versus somebody who plays 4 hours, if you watch at least some YouTube videos, you should be fine. Before, the disparity was just gigantic because no one really had any experience in playing the game. And the advice that was out there was bad.
As I said before, Koreans often speak English. You know, you can find a couple Koreans that are willing to talk to you, and you can hang out with them, play other games with them. You know, Koreans love League of Legends. You know, if you play League of Legends, it's an excellent segue. Just become friends with them, really.
A lot of Koreans spoke English and would not speak English to people, creating this really weird like rumors in the rock community that Koreans only spoke Korean. Koreans learn English in school very often. So if you're talking to young Koreans, there's a very high chance that they speak like serviceable English. Maybe not fluent conversational English, but like they're going to understand you way more than you're going to understand them. They just don't want to talk to you.
Realistically, become friends with them, show that you're useful, you know, by giving them information or helping them fight, joining rallies. Another thing is consider why you're trying to join. Okay, are you trying to join because they're the strongest? You know, are you trying to join because they give you plenty of golden chests? Why are you trying to join? I'm gonna check this text.
You got a tight little man pussy on it, don't you? Oh, it stinks. Nice and good.
So if you want to join because they're the strongest in the kingdom or because they're giving you plenty of gold chests, you're gonna have to bring something to the table. Okay, if you're coming to take, you have to give. You have to be a fighter. You have to be intelligent. You have to be giving gold chests of your own. I mean, there just has to be something useful coming out of you for them to allow you in their alliance. So I want to bring you guys to a story about somebody named Sunken that was previously in my alliance back when it was OKR. Now, Sunken joined because she was a free-to-play player.
Wow, Sunken. It's actually crazy hearing that name again. Well, I'll let myself say it, and then I'll probably say it because, like, we're like 4 or 5 years in the future now, so I can kind of say my mind more. You know, because I was in these kingdoms at the time, so it's like I can't just like say like all the dirty laundry, but...
Player who was recently kicked out of another alliance because she was very selfish and rude to title givers, and nobody particularly liked her. Okay, so she came to the Koreans. She was there, you know, she was talking, just you know, being friendly, but you could tell it was not genuine. Okay, and Sunken never joined Discord and never made an attempt to talk realistically to any of the Koreans. So later on down the line, months into her stay at the Alliance, she ended up attacking Guardian early and was kicked. And instead of apologizing, trying to join again, and talking to leadership, she started complaining. Now, I suppose anybody would really complain if they got kicked out of an alliance, so the sin is not too great. So she started messaging me, and she told me to vouch for her and talk to the alliance leaders to try and get them in. This is before I was in R4. And she wanted forgiveness and to rejoin the alliance, but she was not willing to talk to leadership themselves for it. So I originally told her to talk to Chaco, or to talk to Sion, which is two large pillars of leadership in our alliance, and she began messaging someone. Later on, maybe a day or two later, she messages me asking, could I talk to leadership? And I said, well, then you already talked to leadership. And she starts going through and talking about how they never responded to her. Now, I know this is impossible because they always respond. Even when I wasn't on the best of terms with the Koreans, they still responded to me because they're good people. It turns out she was messaging our strongest warrior, Suyeon, instead of messaging Chaco, because she had never taken time out of her day to translate the Korean names and read them. Okay, I get it. You know, you want to just be able to read the names. You know, you can't read the Korean blocks. You can't sound them out. I understand it, okay? I am an incredible beginner at Korean. I learned the alphabet. I really know like 3 words. So, I mean, I am fully aware that it is a pain to translate the Korean names to learn their names, but you can't just work off of profile pictures. Really, you have to show them the respect to learn their name. They learned your name, why can't you learn theirs? So, this person, obviously, was not let back into the alliance, but this person is probably going to harbor a grudge against Koreans, which is ridiculous because they never made an effort, ever, to really integrate themselves in. When joining, they gave a public announcement, you know, they snuck into the alliance, they gave a public announcement on why they wanted to stay in the Korean alliance. And their rationale, I quote, was they liked K-drama and they liked Korean culture, so they wanted to be in the strongest alliance, giving the most gold chests every day because they liked Korean culture and K-dramas, okay? So I know that's bullshit. She knew that was bullshit. And the Koreans, who all have working brains, knew that was bullshit. So obviously, she was not allowed back. It is important to note that everybody has a functioning brain. Everybody is conscious. Just because the Koreans speak less English than you do, or speak mostly Korean, does not mean that they don't have the same thoughts that you have, just in a different language. I'd like to relate this to like a kid stealing from a table in front of an adult. So an adult leaves a piece of candy on the table. The kid takes it while the adult is looking, and the adult says,
Yo, okay, I was a little wild back then. I thought I was nicer here. I was not. Yo, I was out of pocket. I was OD. No, this is true. Basically, she was just like a hot chick, and she was like okay at the game, but she would basically just go around just trying to eat as much gold chests as possible. Yo, and she would just complain all the time. Look, if you have like a really big spender and he's complaining, he doesn't really know what's going on. Like at least he's dropping gold chests. But you have like those really small players that are complaining because they just don't understand anything. And that was this chick, bro. It was terrible. And the thing that I don't talk about here is like when I'm telling her to like talk to like leadership and stuff, what she's asking me to do is like she's asking me to stake my reputation to bring her back, right? Because like they're going to associate me with other Westerners, and I'm like no, like that's not gonna happen. And then she came back into the alliance and like sent this big mail, and she's like guys, like I really want to be here, like I really want to do this, and she just talked to them like they were actually like so dumb. She talked to them like they were like toddlers. And you know, these guys are like, they're all like pretty wealthy like Korean whales, and it's like bro. And like everything I say here is honestly stuff she deserves. I'm surprised I went so hard just because this is a little out of pocket even for me. Yeah, at the time, because I'm pretty sure I was still in R4 this time, so I was a little more upset because when a Westerner, at this point in time, when a Westerner would do something bad, it would make the rest of the Westerners look bad. And I was obviously trying to get in as well as I could because I wanted the gold chest too. I mean, those are the homies, but of course they were strong. I wanted the GC, and so you know, I was trying to pump up my account. I was trying to be a good R4. Like I was really trying to make this shit happen. And man, this chick was just going out of her way.
You know, to the child, did you take that candy? And the kid looks at him and says, no. The kid, for some reason, cannot recognize the intellectual difference, or realistically, that they're on the same plane of thought. The kid can't understand it because he's not self-aware enough to understand that just like his brain is working, just like he has thoughts, the other person also has thoughts. This is basically what happened to Sunken, and what happens to a lot of people that are trying to join Korean alliances. Why should they allow somebody to the table that doesn't speak their language, doesn't take the time out of their day to be active, doesn't learn their names? You have to become their friends. When I first joined, was I cool with everybody? Of course not. It took time. You know, when I was talking to my leader, my girlfriend was at home yesterday and the day before last, and you know, she said she was
my ex. Oh wow, this is a super old video. If you guys didn't know, I was almost married at one point. This is this is so old, bro. My god.
Feeling too good. And so, you know, I thought, you know, maybe she has beer disease. I have asthma. So I was very sad at the thought of her having the beer disease.
Beer disease is what we used to call COVID back in the day. There was a point in time where if you even mentioned that name on YouTube, they would immediately strike you. I still have a strike on my channel to this day because I was talking about about my experience getting vaccinated and how it was good because I have asthma. I was talking about it in a positive light, and I got a strike on my channel that to this day I still have. Crazy.
Because then we can't see each other. Because if she were to come and have beer disease, I would fucking die because I have asthma. Okay, so that's very sad for me. My leader, Chaco, said, "Hey, can I send you some snacks through the mail?" You know, I feel your pain. Let me do this for you, okay? He does this because he's my friend. But we didn't start out like, you can't just magic yourself into a Korean alliance. Magic yourself. But you can't just spontaneously make it happen. It takes effort, just like everything takes effort, okay? These type of bonds aren't made often due to people really being xenophobic towards Koreans, okay? You have to realize that just because they're not gonna accept you with open arms doesn't mean that they're all evil. They just aren't Western. And you have to realize that if you want to be with the Koreans, okay, you want to be cool with them, you want to be in the alliance, you want to be leadership, you're gonna have to put in the extra elbow grease because you don't speak Korean. I don't speak Korean. It wasn't easy for me, but it's not supposed to be easy. How is it supposed to be easy if you don't speak their language? So just be self-aware, work hard, and you too can become a Korean R4. Have a great one, guys. This is Magic the Joker. And if you guys are currently watching this video, it means I'm live, so make sure it's only today.
Well, that is definitely a trip down memory lane. Anyway, I want to make a few more videos like this just because there's some like super old videos that I think are pretty funny, especially like seeing my young babyface self. I say babyface, but I was like, I was damn near an escaped convict at this point in my life. But yeah, I mean, like, this is a really interesting, like, time capsule of where the culture was at in Rise of Kingdoms at this point. I don't want to say it was a new game because Rise of Kingdoms came out in 2018, but like a couple years in, like, we just did not have like good community bonds and it was way less multicultural. Everything was like super sectioned off. I don't think there was a specific Chinese server that had come out yet either. So there were some Chinese alliances. I want to say JWM was really big here. I think AVG was huge. This is back when 1002 wasn't a joke. They had, oh god, it was like UO2. I can't remember what alliance they had there, but I mean, like, the mods were different. The Rise of Kingdoms Discord was completely different. Everything was different at this point. It was a wildly different place. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed taking a stroll down memory lane with me. You know, even before we had the Rise of Kingdoms PC version, we were playing on BlueStacks. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is an officially sponsored video for Rise of Kingdoms. And if you guys enjoyed it, please drop a like or follow. Consider subscribing. Donate to the Streamlabs, link in the description below if you guys want that. If you guys are interested in coaching, we do coaching on stream for 35 bucks a session, coaching off stream for 75 bucks a session. And you guys can find all of that good stuff in the Discord in the description below. Without further ado, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Have yourselves a wonderful night, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.